This lesson is on finding ratio. When we're talking about ratio, we're comparing two numbers or two quantities. So here we have a bucket of marbles. If there's 23 red marbles and 32 blue marbles, the ratio of red to blue is 23 red to 32 blue. So you're just comparing these numbers and you're asked to find the ratio of red to blue. And so you're going to put red first and then blue second. So you can write 23 red to 32 blue. You could also just write red to blue. So you could put, or I'm sorry, you could also just write 23 to 32. So we wrote 23 red to 32 blue. It can also be written as 23 to 32 with a colon. You can write the word to, T-O, 23 to 32, or you can set it up as a fraction, 23 over 32. Now, we were asked to find the ratio of red to blue, so we're going to put red on top of this fraction. So we would put the red number here and the blue number on the bottom. Each one of these, no matter how you write the ratio, they are all read 23 to 32. So you're just comparing the two numbers, and whenever you're asked to find a ratio, they're going to tell you the order that they want it in. So if they want to find the ratio of red to blue, you put red first and blue second. There are 3 boys and 6 girls in the room. What is the ratio of boys to girls? Now in this problem, we have the units written beside the numbers. You don't always have to write the units. You can if you want. 3 boys to 6 girls. So in this case, we're using the word to. 3 boys, colon, 6 girls. So this time we're writing it like this. And then we have our third option where we can write it as a fraction. 3 boys to 6 girls. So no matter how we write it, it's all read 3 boys to 6 girls. Whenever we study proportions later on in this unit, we're going to be writing our ratios in fractional form. Now you could just write this 3 to 6. You're allowed to just answer this without labels because when it says what is the ratio of boys to girls, it's expected that you put the boy information first and the girl information second. Now if it said what is the ratio of girls to boys, then it would be 6 to 3. When we're looking at ratios, we want to show our ratios in their lowest terms. So if it's 3 to 6, we're going to simplify this fraction to its lowest terms, or simplify the ratio to its lowest terms. So divide both numbers by their common factor, the greatest common factor, and you will reduce it to 1/2. So always show them in lowest form. Okay, here we have some ratios. We have 8 to 64. We can also write this in fractional form, 8/64. So if you prefer to see it in fractional form, you can change any ratio to fractional form. If you prefer to see it in colon form, change it to colon form. So we're going to go ahead and reduce a few of these ratios here. These are both divisible by 8, so we're going to divide them both by 8, and we have 1 to 8. So 1 to 8 would be our simplest ratio. 35 to 14. 35 to 14, they have a greatest common factor of 7. So it would be 5 to 2. So you'd write 5 to 2. That would be showing in its simplest form. Okay, in our next problem we have 18 to 9. So it's already written in fractional form. Again, if you prefer to see it in another form, go ahead and write it that way. Either way, you're going to reduce it to its lowest form. So they're both divisible by 9. So we're going to divide them both by 9. And we're going to end up with 2, 2, 1. So that would be our final ratio. Now we're not going to leave it as 2, we're going to leave it as 2 to 1. If you're writing it in fractional form, 18 over 9, you're dividing them both by 2, you end up with, or I'm sorry, you're dividing them both by 9, you're going to end up with 2 to 1. So whenever you're working with ratios, you want to leave your final answer in a ratio format. Here we have 48 to 16. Remember, it's a ratio, so we're going to leave it in a ratio format. These two numbers are both divisible by 16. If you don't automatically recognize that, just start whittling them down, just as we did for our equivalent fractions. So these two numbers have a greatest common factor of 16. 48 divided by 16 is 3. So we have 3 to 1. You could also write that as 3 colon 1, or you could write 3, 2, 1. It doesn't matter which one of these formats you choose, it's the correct answer. Now we have 32 to 72. Always remember to, if you're rewriting it in a different form, make sure that, if 32 is first and you're changing it to a fraction, you put 32 on top. Now 32 and 72, their greatest common factor is 8. So we're going to divide both of these numbers by 8 and we end up with 4 to 9. That would be our final ratio. These two ratios are equal. 88 to 11. 88 to 11. Now these are both divisible by 11. Our final ratio would be 8 to 1, or 8 colon 1, or 8 to 1. Here is a problem that comes straight from your text. We have a chart here, and there's 4 different clubs. There's a drama, chess, environmental, and music club, and also charts the number of students in each one of those clubs. We are asked to write ratios comparing different numbers. So we want the number of drama students to the number of chess students. Well, we're going to put drama first and then the number of chess students. So it would be 20 to 10. How many drama students? There are 20. How many chess students? There are 10. And so we'll go ahead and reduce this to its lowest form. We'll divide both of these by 10. And we get 2 to 1. So this would be our final answer. Now we're going to find the ratio of the number of music students to the number of drama students. How many music students are there? There are 18 music students. So we're going to write 18 first to the number of drama students. How many drama? There are 20. So these are both divisible by 2. We're going to divide both of these by 2 and we get 9 to 10. And that would be our final answer. Now I've been using the colon method to show these ratios, but you can also use a fractional form. Let's do the next one in a fractional form. The number of environmental students to the number of drama and chess students. So environmental goes on top, 12. The number on the bottom is drama and chess together, so that's 30. Okay, so now we're going to divide both of these. Let's start, these are both divisible by 6. Greatest common factor. We have 2 to 5. That's our final answer. Okay, in our last problem here, we have the number of chess students to all students. So the number of chess students is 10. All students, we're going to have to add all of these numbers up. So we've got 20 plus 10 is 30, plus 12 would be 42, plus 18 would give us 60. So it would be 10 to 60. we're going to reduce that to 1/6. They're both divisible by 10. So 1 to 6 is our final ratio.